Kelulut is a type of bee that does not sting and lives in colonies. Can be found in tropical and subtropical climates such as Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, India, Australia, and South America. They inhabit holes in tree trunks or rocks. At present, it has been farmed to be used as a pollination agent and to obtain its honey. From March to September each year, it will start collecting honey in large quantities because at that time the tropical plants mostly flower and produce nectar that can be collected by the Kelulut. The honey collected by Kelulut is obtained from flower sources close to their nests only. Kelulut will work diligently to collect nectar to the deepest part of a flower. When finding a new source of nectar, the Kelulut will return to its hive, then perform a special dance in front of the entrance and use chemical communication to tell the direction of the source of nectar that can be visited. Each Kelulut needs to visit about 300 to 350 flower buds to get a drop of honey. Inside the hive, honey will be stored in a honey sac made of propolis. Once the honey sac has been fully filled, it will be tightly closed to allow the nectar to ferment before it can be used. At intervals of 21 days, the honey sacs that have been completed undergoing the fermentation process will be opened to feed the newly hatched young Kelulut. Due to nectar source factors and diligent collecting habits, it is said that Kelulut honey is more nutritious than other types of bee honey. Kelulut honey is said to be able to increase the level of immunity of the human body and is believed to be able to treat some chronic diseases. But it all depends on the level of a person's antibody response. But why are people still suspicious of using Kelulut honey? A variety of colors is one of the reasons why consumers find it difficult to accept Kelulut honey. Compared to other types of honey that feature a uniform color, especially when displayed on sales shelves. In the technique of driving sales, appearance is important, and a convincing appearance is able to build the customer's desire to try. We have to admit, many products that look attractive do not need to be hard to promote and their sales soar. The nutritional value of related products is a factor that contributes to repeat purchases. But even at the selling stage, we have failed. How to get repeat customers who use Kelulut honey? Appearance in terms of color should be emphasized in addition to packaging and labeling. But why the color of honey Kelulut often varies, and what are the methods to overcome it? This problem started in the early stages of honey harvesting. Farmers should understand what necessary practices should be followed to ascertain what are the main causes causing the color of honey to change. When we fail to practice the practices that should be practiced, the color of honey produced will be varied. Maybe some of you say that the difference in the color of honey is due to the various sources of nectar, causing the honey to have a different color. And to confirm what I want to share in the video this time, try doing things like the following on the same topic. 1. Suck honey using a syringe and see the color and what it tastes like. 2. Suck the honey using a high-speed pump, also see the color and what it tastes like. Why is the color and taste of honey obtained using a syringe and a pump different? Even though it came from the same topic. During the harvesting process, the use of a suction pump that is too fast causes a lot of air to mix with the harvested honey. The combined air will help activate more useful bacteria and produce air bubbles. Air bubbles cause honey to change color and taste. One question arises, is the use of a high-speed suction pump inappropriate? And what is the best way to get quality honey like original or raw honey? The use of high-speed pumps can save time harvesting honey, but the newly obtained honey is not suitable for further marketing because the color and taste are still problematic. The honey can be sold after going through the fermentation process. Or in other words, do not rush to sell and make a profit by selling honey harvested using a high-speed pump. Its quality is affected and consumers are also disputing it. So, what is the best way to harvest Kelulut honey so that the color and taste are not affected? The size of the honey sac of each species of honey is different. The Tetragonula laeviceps species is small and can only hold less than 1 milliliter compared to the honey sac of the Heterotrigona atama species can hold up to 3.5 milliliters. While the honey sac of Geniotrigona thoracica species can reach up to 5 milliliters. Did you know that there are 3 common ways practiced by Kelulut farmers from around the world to harvest honey? But before you watch this video further, make sure you support my sharing by pressing the like and share buttons so that other friends also have the opportunity to get this information. Kelulut farmers in Australia practice the drip method by punching the honey sac in the topping using a special punch and then inverting it on a filter. This method can not only reduce the dissolved air in the honey but also minimize the level of damage to the honey sac so that it can be easily repaired for reuse by Kelulut. In the Philippines, most Kelulut farmers practice the method of harvesting honey using a syringe. However, in recent times they have switched to using suction pumps. Meanwhile, Kelulut farmers in Indonesia and Thailand remove the entire bag of honey and squeeze and filter it. This is because many of them breed Kelulut species Tetragonula laeviceps. We have a choice of which method is appropriate to practice. Do choose the easy way and get honey mixed with air, or practice the appropriate way so that the honey does not change color and taste.